Egypt. Honestly, we weren't even completely sure we'd make it here with everything going on politically in the region. There was a lot of uncertainty before the trip, but once we arrived, it felt very different from what we expected. For most of the people, you get a feeling of warmth and friendliness. And Cairo is where we began. History and chaos work side by side here. With the crazy traffic, I think our driver was trying to stress us out being on his phone. I mean, listen to this traffic. So our first impression of Cairo? Busy, overwhelming, and full of life. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the horses. I would describe our accommodations as rustic and artistic in the local sense. It also offered some really great views. As well as a rooftop deck with great views, and we used this several times. Here we are on a rooftop patio in Cairo, Egypt, overlooking the Giza Plateau.
That's pretty amazing.
All the 3 pyramids and the little ones in between, and what a gorgeous view. We just watched the sunset. It was really nice.
Yeah, spectacular.
So I've been thinking about this view and whether or not I would ever see it since I was 15 years old. So I'll tell that real quick. When I was in high school as a sophomore, I took an ancient civ class. And my teacher was very enamored with the ancient Egyptian civilization, and we spent half the class, about 6 weeks or 1/4, on just the Egypt civilization. And it was fascinating to me. I've been interested in it ever since, and there's so much history that it's just, it's pretty cool to actually finally be here and see this. So.
I also had a teacher in 6th grade, Mrs. Gould, who did a whole Egypt unit for us. The thing that I remember is that she took a recording of the traffic sounds at 1 o'clock in the morning outside of her hotel room. And it was so noisy with the horns going constantly. So maybe you hear them in the background here, but I will make sure that you hear them with some recordings later, because it's been pretty much non-stop since we got here.
Yeah, might be a fun night.
Yeah, the horns are the music of Cairo.
So our first full day in Cairo, and where better to start than with the museum. Tickets to the museum cost just under $30. It's museum day, Margo's favorite.
And this one is a huge one. But we did get really lucky because this is the brand new gem museum, and it just opened like within the last month, right?
Yeah.
They've been working on it for decades, and so we're super excited and feel really lucky to actually get to be here and see the whole thing. The whole thing.
Here's something you won't see anywhere else. The bottom of an obelisk. The Grand Egyptian Museum really lives up to its name. As you walk in the front door, you're greeted by a 36-foot tall statue of King Ramses II. The gem covers 123 acres, which is about 70 football fields, making it the world's largest archaeological museum dedicated to a single civilization. Here's just some of what we saw over about a 4 or 5 hour day. First, we made our way up the grand staircase. After reaching the top, you make your way down through all of the main galleries. I've always enjoyed museums, and I really liked the way the gym was set up and how the walk to the museum flowed. It covers 3 main categories of society, kings, and beliefs. There was so much to look at, multiple galleries spread throughout the building, and one particular gallery dedicated just to King Tutankhamun. We made it through most of the galleries in the main building and decided to head outside and see what was in the courtyard area. There were 2 deconstructed ships buried right outside of the Great Pyramid. This one was reconstructed using all of the original pieces. Here we're taking our second trip up the staircase, but we decided to use the escalator, which was very convenient. And now we're on to King Tut, the Tutankhamun Gallery. The amount of gold we saw in this one tomb was crazy. King Tut was buried in 3 coffins, all placed inside of a larger stone sarcophagus, which itself was enclosed by 4 nested, gilded wooden shrines, creating a total of 7 layers of protection for this mummy. The innermost coffin was made of solid gold, while the outer 2 were gilded wood inlaid with semi-precious stones, all shaped like the god Osiris. This guy sure liked his shoes. Historians say King Tut had a limp or something wrong with his leg, and that's why he had multiple canes. Yes, that's right. Everything you just saw here was all in Tutankhamun's tomb, including this gold chair. With remnants of Christmas still in the air, we took in a rooftop deck right outside the entrance to the Giza Plateau. It was a crowded place, but great views. Oh, and the wind was pretty good. We opted for a guided tour when we did the Giza Plateau, and that's a really good idea. I highly recommend it. For some of us, we just love to hear the history and the stories that go along with these areas. But then also, you just see some things that you wouldn't quite catch if someone wasn't there to point it out. After only seeing the Sphinx in movies and pictures, it was so cool to be there looking at this. In case you were wondering, the Giza Plateau is extremely large, and yes, we took some buses to get around in between the places. It was just surreal to be next to these massive structures and see how big they really are. Brings it all into perspective. I'm not sure if you can take too many pictures of the pyramids, but we gave it a try. The Saqqara necropolis serves as a burial ground for the capital of Memphis, south of Cairo. The biggest thing here is the step pyramid of Dashur, which is considered the oldest pyramid. The statue here in this room is King Dashur, and the holes are placed so that he can see his kingdom. We took a turn at going inside a few of the places, and there were some cramped quarters to get through, let me tell you. We took the opportunity to go inside of the Red Pyramid. It's a little smaller than the Great Pyramid, but no less intimidated to walk inside. Look at this cramped space. We just got through experiencing the Red Pyramid, going
Up 20 meters,
yeah,
and then down
a third.
60 meters.
And so we went in a narrow tunnel, lay down and straight, and we had to crouch over for most of it. It was challenging.
It's a back burner. It's a back burner. It's more for young people.
But it was a good experience.
Yeah.
Now we know we're not going to do the really big pyramid.
Yeah, cool to go inside the pyramid, but we don't have to do that again.
This is the bent pyramid, and apparently it was an early pyramid when they were trying to figure out how to make the angles correct. You see you can't see the top right now? Then I'm walking in Memphis. I didn't see the ghost of Elvis, but we saw some other cool stuff. Quick note, Memphis used to be the capital of Egypt. And remember that Ramses statue we saw at the gem? Well, this one's the same size, and we got a different view and got to stand right next to it. It was kind of cool. This tour provided us with a nice meal, and then we headed back to the hotel for a nice evening on a special occasion. It was New Year's Eve, and we were invited to the rooftop deck for a celebration. This little party was not too crazy, just our style. So we sat back and enjoyed the view, the lights, and the occasional firework running up to the special hour. It did seem like Roman candles were the thing around here. Just about every rooftop was shooting them off occasionally. Our host treated us to a rooftop New Year's celebration. It was pretty cool. The dance of the dervishes is Tanara. Tanara is a traditional national dance in Egypt. Its peculiarity is that only men perform the dance. Wow, this is surreal. Fireworks in front of the Great Pyramid. Once in a lifetime for us, and it was awesome.
2026!
Happy New Year!
Our last day in Cairo, we negotiated with the driver to take us around the city and see some additional sites we had on our list. Our first stop was Salah al-Din Citadel, which cost just under $12 per person. The large complex houses several museums and the Muhammad Ali Mosque. The mosque was huge and beautiful. The Citadel sits atop a plateau, and so of course it has views of the city. After a brief discussion with our driver about lunch, we headed to a busy market area and were given a tuk-tuk adventure. Then we ended our time in Cairo with another delicious meal.